Hey guys, welcome back to Vanguard Motor Sales. I'm Greg, and I know a lot of you are saying, that's a Hellcat. Yeah, it's a 2015 Hellcat, but it isn't just a 2015 Hellcat. This is the 10th one ever built, guys. Yes, VIN number 10. Look at this beautiful car. It had one of the highest window sticker prices of the first 10 cars. Now, car number 7 was actually built for Fast and the Furious. It was sublime green. This one's got the satin hood, and she is looking beautiful. Now, this was sold down in North Carolina, and we're pretty sure it came from Hendrick Motorsports and went to a really big-time collector. And he sold off his whole collection about 3 years ago, and another big-time collector bought it. That man died, and guess who's got it now? Vanguard Motor Sales. Look down the side of this black beauty. Now, when these things were first built, I don't think anybody knew what they were going to do with these cars. They said they weren't going to build very many of them, but of course now it's a whole gigantic Hellcat industry now. So can you imagine owning Hellcat number 10 of what has went on with all these cars and trucks and Jeeps, and I mean, who knows what they're putting a Hellcat motor in next? I mean, look at this thing. And then, of course, this is the last year. There'll be no more Hellcats after this year, is what they're telling us. She's got, one of the options was the black leather interior, and then the other option was that satin hood. And, I mean, she's just amazing. And, oh, I forgot to tell you guys this. She's only got 66 miles on her. So not only is she Hellcat number 10, only 66 miles, man. You want to talk about slick? This is one amazing collector piece right here. So if you've got a Hellcat collection, you need this car. The deck lid's satin on it also, by the way. I mean, you can see there's not a mark on it anywhere. She's looking absolutely gorgeous. So we're gonna put it up on the lift. We're gonna take a look at the bottom side. Of course, we're gonna pop the hood, look at that Hellcat power plant under the hood, and then we're gonna get out, we're gonna make just a little bit of noise with the exhaust, and we might just drive it maybe a mile up and down the road so we can show you rolling down the road. Hellcat number 10, baby. All right, guys, we're in the Hellcat now, and obviously this thing's showing 68 miles now. That's just us pulling it in and out of the shop, and we're gonna pull out on the street just so you can see it rolling. You can see the computer screen here. It's got everything you need. The only button that I know how to work and that I want to work is the traction control. If you hit that button just once, it turns off traction control. If you hold it, it turns off the advanced track. So if you want to do donuts or do some fishtailing or whatever, you need to hold down on that button and it'll come up on the dash here. You can see, I don't know, can you get the camera over there? You see that 68 miles? Now, what was really cool about these cars is when they first came out, I know nowadays 700 horsepower, there's a lot of cars out there that's got that much horsepower, but when these things came out, this was the only thing that even come close to touching it. So these things were really special when they came out. It's even more special now, the fact that guys drove these cars. They weren't collecting these cars in the beginning. To find VIN number 10 with only 68 miles on it now, this is super rare. You need to add it to your collection. So call Tom at 248-974-9513. Make sure you share this video with your buddies and subscribe to our channel. You'll never know what we get in tomorrow. All right, we're underneath Hellcat number 10 now, and it is just as clean on the bottom side, man. I'll tell you what is it, 8 years old, 2015 to 2023, yeah, 8 years old. I still see paper tags on everything. Obviously, this thing was never out in the rain or anything. All the aluminum's still nice and bright and shiny. Of course, it's independent rear suspension, all stock, looking sweet. Of course, those gigantic brakes there to slow this beast down. Everything under here is just as clean as a whistle. I see a paper tag here on the drive shaft still also. Just pretty as can be. And of course we got the 8-speed automatic transmission that is holding all that horsepower, putting it back there to those back wheels on an independent rear suspension. We got gigantic brakes up front, the gigantic sway bar also. I mean, look at the size of those babies. And of course we got paper tags all over those also. Just bright and shiny, looks like brand new here. Now we've got a couple of tiny little scrapes, probably from loading it on and off of a trailer, because it has been moved around a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny little bit of marks on the bottom side of the splitter also. Other than that, it is beautiful. I don't see a mark on it anywhere. Then of course we got these badass wheels. It's got Pirellis, 275/40 20s up front, and then look at that black paint, man. Look at that rocker. She is a beauty, man. Everything looking sweet on this number 10 Hellcat, baby. Ever made. Isn't that sweet? Then out back here, yeah, 275/40 20s out back also, and you can see those Brembo brakes peeking out of there. Well, let's lower it down and take a look at the Hellcat power under the hood. So here we are. This is where it's making all the horsepower, right up here. SRT, 707 horsepower on this Hellcat Supercharged Hemi. Looking sweet. Again, looks brand new under the hood. Of course, it's 8 years old. You know this thing was stored indoors. Actually, I know where it was sold the first time, and I actually was at that sale. And this thing was living in the most lavish garage you'd ever imagine, with some very, very cool brothers and sisters in there. I mean, she's beautiful. Of course, air conditioning, power brakes, power steering, anti-lock brakes, and you know, it's got all the bells and whistles on it, guys. So one of the highest stickers that we saw also, of course, has got the satin hood and the satin deck lid there also. So she's a beauty, guys. She's number 10. Add it to your collection. Give us a call, 248-974-9513, and let Vanguard Motor Sales park this dream in your drive.